Hey Ravens fans, we have now seen a couple days of practice of rookie minicamp. The rookies are all here and we're excited to give you our initial thoughts of what we saw out there on the field. Joining me today, Clifton Brown, Ryan Mink. So Ryan, I'll start with you. What did you think after seeing these guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously your attention goes to first-round picks, right? I mean, that's who we're all here to see. So I was impressed with Rashod Bateman. The first thing is you kind of just give him the eye test. So they passed the eye test. I thought Rashod Bateman seemed just a little bit bigger than his measurements, and I think that's why people were a little surprised he measured smaller at his pro day than people thought he was just looking at him, because he's kind of a bigger guy. He's kind of filled out. And I thought he was super smooth. You see the polish that's there with Rashod Bateman. And then the other first-round pick, Adewale Ogunleye, I mean, talk about a physical specimen. This guy has everything you want, all the tools. And it's interesting to see him getting so much one-on-one coaching because he's so relatively new in his career.
Yeah, with Bateman, to me what stood out, you mentioned it, smooth. I mean, he just seems to kind of glide around the field, and he has that look. Did you see that too, Cliff?
I did. I like the way he catches the ball too. I mean, that's the first thing you want to see with these receivers, consistency with catching the ball. And yeah, I just think that Bateman's a guy he's got a little edge to him. He's a really serious-minded guy, even answering questions. And I also was intrigued with watching T. Martin and Keith Williams working with these guys. I think that's a new dynamic we're going to see at practice that's going to help these young wide receivers. I think they're going to relate to these guys well, who do have a lot of talent, but also things to learn. So I really enjoyed watching the drills that those guys were putting them through.
The guy who I feel like stole the show, at least on the first day of minicamp, was not either the first-round picks, but that's Ben Cleveland. He had his time with the media, also was going back and forth with WWE star Braun Strowman, who asked if they were separated at birth, basically. And I think a lot of Ravens fans are excited to see Ben Cleveland in action. You talk about looking the part. This guy looks about as good as you can coming off the bus.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing with him, too, is you see the upper body. I mean, he's just huge. He looks like an action hero.
He looks much different than you right there.
Much different. This is me being Ben Cleveland. But then, I see him on the field, and you see the lower half, too, and he's going to move people off the ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, no question about that. And Ryan mentioned Adewale Ogunleye, but I want to get your perspective on him, Cliff, because he's somebody who has, if you want to talk about physical tools, this guy might be the best athlete in the entire draft. He's got it all. What stood out to you after watching him?
Well, I covered the NBA for a long time. He looks like an NBA guy out there, like just oozing, like you said, with athleticism. And also, yeah, I think that for a guy to get this good this quickly, a first-round pick playing in the NFL or only playing football for 5 years, I mean, think about that. There's been guys playing their whole life who are truly athletic, who haven't gone this far this quickly. So in a defense like Wink's, where he's going to have an opportunity to do a lot of different things, I think the guy's ceiling, everybody said it, I mean, who knows what he can be. And I also like the way that he seems really focused and eager to learn. His work ethic is not going to be an issue. So he's someone to get excited about. I see why the Ravens jumped on him with that first pick.
You mentioned the work ethic and all those. Dalen Hayes is another player that just jumps out to me in terms of coachability. I mean, it's very yes sir, like he wants to be coached, and you can see that personality of his coming out. And I thought he flashed a little bit. I mean, he was in the backfield on a few occasions during today's practice. I was impressed with that. And one other kind of, not the first-round picks, I don't want to put all the attention on them, but I thought Tyler Wallace is an impressive wide receiver. You can see that it's not, one question I had with him is he made so many contested catches in college. What do you get the separation in the NFL? Because it's harder to make those contested catches against the size and strength of these cornerbacks. You see the route running polish in person just in the first impression. So quick in and out of his breaks. I'm intrigued by Tyler Wallace. I think he could really be a player.
Yeah, one point I want to mention on Dalen Hayes, there was a point where they were going through drills and Adewale Ogunleye was hitting the sled, and if you notice behind him, Dalen Hayes was getting mental reps. A lot of the coaches, high school, college coaches out there on Twitter noticed that and really pointed that out. Is that something that is really important for a young guy to do to try to maximize every rep out here at rookie minicamp? So it was just good to see football. I mean, these are the first practices since the end of last season. It was a beautiful weekend, and I know that we're all excited to see these guys in action. Make sure you go ahead and get your tickets for the upcoming season. Now you can do that by visiting BaltimoreRavens.com/tickets. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.